Alrighty, hello little cake faces and cowboy fans everywhere. My fiance and my stepdad are both fans of the Cowboys, so the first jersey that I actually had to wear is my fiance's cowboy jersey, which is a size medium in men's and is in fact way too big on me. But that's the situation that I'm stuck with. So I decided to make the most of it, and as the makeup junkie, I created some blue eye makeup looks to go with it, and I decided why not make a video about it. So this look was actually inspired by two YouTubers. Maybe you're watching this because you are a Cowboys fan and you want to be able to do your makeup and be a glam Cowboys fan, am I right? Maybe you hate football and you just really like blue eyeshadow. But either way, sit back, enjoy, crack open a Coke. Sponsored. Just kidding, I wish I was sponsored by Coke. My skin is so glittery right now. Currently almost out of my Fenty Beauty foundation. Pretty sure L'Oreal tests on animals, so I don't like that, but girl's gotta do what she's gotta do sometimes, you know? I am wearing a Cowboys jersey right now because I work at a sports bar, and on every Sunday they make us wear jerseys. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go get my Coke Zero because I'm thirsty, but I'll be right back. So this Coke Zero was made out to mi amigo. I'll tell you what, Coke Zero, you're my amigo too. So first up, we've got Kylie Jenner's Stormy palette. I do not remember which one this was called, but it's the yellow one. And we're gonna use, bam, that blue and probably this silver. All right, next up, another beauty influencer's little palette. We're gonna use Party Animal from Laura Lee, Los Angeles. And you guessed it, yep, we're gonna use Karaoke, and maybe, but probably not, Damage Control. Why am I talking like this? Because I'm in a hurry and it makes me weird. Next up, another beauty influencer, and I promise this is the last influencer palette that I'm gonna throw at you. Kat Von D, you guessed it. And we're gonna use both of these beautiful blues down here called Carolyn and Chad. I worked with a manager named Chad at this very sports bar, and he was a creep. He got fired. Anyhoozle, again. Then last but not least, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna use this or not, but I'm gonna tell you anyways, is Too Faced Then and Now palette. I think that's what it's called. That's what I've been calling it. I might be wrong. But if we use this one, we're probably going to use both of these. But I don't know if I want shimmer or not. So we'll see. But we will be using Ice Queen and Chill Out. Chill out, y'all. Anyways, so I'm just going to jump right into it. This look is going to be mostly blues. But I do want a nice like transition shade, so I actually lied to you, and I am going to go into the Kat Von D palette with one other color. I'm going to use this neutral here, which I think is called Nancy. So I'm just going to take Nancy on my BH Cosmetics 5. It's just like the small blending brush. And I'm just going to very lightly define my crease with that on both sides. I'm doing this because blue eyeshadow is really hard to wear. If any of you remember the movie Oliver and Company, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, for the record, there's this scene where the poodle is putting on her makeup in the morning and she just like smears this blue eyeshadow on. And I remember as a kid thinking that that was so glamorous and I loved it so much, but if you look back now, watch it, it's ridiculous. Nobody should wear just a smear of blue eyeshadow. And a poodle probably shouldn't wear makeup either, but that's besides the point. I'm going to take the same color and sweep it underneath my lash line because we're going to do something blue underneath here too. So you can go a little bit below. You don't have to actually touch your lash line with this because there's going to be blue there. So I'm just going to kind of set that up so that I kind of have this darker, I don't know, beige color around my eyeballs. Like a raccoon. You see? You see? With that same brush, I'm gonna go into the Kylie palette like I told you, and I'm gonna take that light blue. You can use any baby blue that you have. This is what I'm using, and we're gonna sweep that all into that transition shade, kind of keeping it a bit below. And this is gonna help us transition from the neutral to the blues. And you can get some extra into the inner corners because that's gonna help you switch into the silver later when you make that pop in the inner corner. Okay. Now we're gonna go back into the Kat Von D palette, and I'm gonna use the darker of the two blues. I believe it's called Carolyn, or not darker, I'm sorry, less bright. And I'm just gonna dust that up into the baby blue. Same brush. This is gonna be a very smoked out look, so it's okay if you just use a blending brush the whole time. I always say that if you can paint, then you could probably do eyeshadow. My first love was painting. I would never call myself a professional, really, at either painting or makeup, but my makeup skills have far surpassed my painting, I will admit. But I always like to paint and draw and color and all that fun stuff. So now we got this boring blue blend. I like to go with my fingers sometimes and just make sure that it's all dusted away. And now we're gonna stay in this palette and we're gonna go to that really bright shad. And I'm gonna try to like dot my brush into this to keep it onto the top of the brush and dust it off, because this is gonna give you some wicked fallout. If you want to be extra safe, you could even probably hold up like a card or something under your eye while you do this, and this will actually give you a really nice line. And we're just gonna put it right into the outer 2/3, especially in that corner. Just blending out that line that I created because I don't really want too sharp of a line. And now I'm gonna go in with a different brush. I know I said that you could use the same brush for the whole time, but that brush was actually a little too small. This is the SL Miss Glam eyeshadow brush in N15. It's not necessarily a blending brush, but it's fluffy enough that you can still blend. And I'm gonna go back in with that same blue Chad, and I'm gonna kind of sweep and pack that onto my lid, because this is one of the main colors that I want to pop. I love this blue. I think it's really pretty, and it's bright without being too bright, so it's perfect for a look like this. You can see that I've already messed up over here. Later we're going to sweep in a natural shade again and kind of clean up our mess. It's really easy to get messy with blue, especially in a smoky eye. But to be honest, I make a mess of everything in my life, so it's not very surprising. Okay. I'm gonna take that same brush, wipe it off a little bit, and take that same blue, just on the tip of it, just right along the outside edges, and start smoking out the lower lash line. This is the point where you really want to go in and sweep off a lot of the mess that you've made. This is just a big fluffy brush. It's the number 1 from BH Cosmetics. I forgot the name of this brush line, but if I remember it, I will put it in the description down below. Okay, so we're almost done, believe it or not. We just need to go in with some darker blues and really deepen this look. This is from Elizabeth Mott, and it is literally just called Blending Brush. What is on my hand? Okay. Now I'm going in with Karaoke from the Laura Lee palette, and I'm just packing it into this brush. And honestly, I'm thinking this look is getting a little too bright blue, so I'm going to dot it into this purple hung over too, just to give it slightly more of like a indigo color. And this I'm going to use to darken and deepen the outer corner. Okay, now I've decided that I am gonna go in with Chill Out and Ice Queen. I'm gonna do Chill Out back on that SL Miss Glam brush, but I'm gonna spray it with some setting spray first so that the color will be really pigmented. And I'm gonna go in with Chill Out just gonna saturate my brush with that blue. This does have a little bit of a, it's almost like a satin finish. It's not really sparkly, but it's definitely not matte. And I am just going to put that all over my lid. I think this is gonna give me the dark blue that I need for a Cowboys look. Yep. Now I'm going to take, I'm actually going to use the brush from the Lunar Beauty palette. It's a dual-ended brush. This one I think is better for like packing on colors, and this one I think is better for small details. So I'm going to use the small detail side, get it wet again, and I'm going to get that Ice Queen right on there. And this I'm going to use to give us a nice fade on the inner corner where I can add that silver. I love this color. But as I'm adding this, I'm noticing that I'm brightening it up a little more than I wanted to, so I'm going to go back in with, I think, we're going to do the Laura Lee palette, and we're going to take Karaoke on the other side of the Lunar Beauty brush, and I'm just going to try to fade all of that together. I'm going to take a small smudger brush, like this one, which is from Royal and Langkickle. I hate saying that name because I think I'm saying it wrong every time. And I'm going to get Karaoke onto the edges of that smudger brush. And we're going to just go very carefully in tight line up against the bottom lash line. And now I see over here I've got a little bit of mess going on. So I think I'm going to take just any brush. We're going to use this one. I think it's from one of my Naked palettes. And I'm going to go in with one of the lighter shades from the Kat Von D palette. You can use any neutral skin tone shade here because it's basically just highlighting the brow bone. And I'm going to clean up that line. Nice. Now the final step, I am going in with the palette that I forgot to tell you about because it's technically not an eyeshadow palette. An oldie but a goodie, the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit. And I'm going to go in with Silver Star, which is perfect because the Cowboys have a star. I'm going to get that brush really saturated with it. And we're just going to pop that right there in the inner corner. And blend it into the look. I'm gonna be honest right now though, it's really not doing what I wanted it to do, so I think I'm gonna go into my Too Faced palette, and on this little half and half one, I'm just gonna take the silver that they have there, pop it right over it and see if it brightens it up. Yeah, I think that's better. Alright, so now that we've got this poppin' inner corner with our blue smoky eye, I'm going to finish the rest of my face off camera and come back. Alrighty loves, so there you have it. This is what we came up with, and I hope you liked it. Thinking maybe next week while I'm getting ready for work, I'll wear my Steelers jersey and I'll give you a nice black and yellow look. But for now, you're stuck with the Cowboys. Sorry if you hate them. Sorry if you love them. Anyways, thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and share this look. If you have somebody who has been looking for a way to do their makeup for game day or something, then share it and let them see it too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.